is 5:04 a.m. We're sitting here waiting for the boss. He parks up there. This is Bernie, Odyssey Life. It is powder coating day. So we're sitting here. Actually, here he comes. Here comes the boss. Alright. I should be punched in by now, but he always runs late. We're never in any hurry. Alright, we're gonna head in. Talk to you soon. It is powder coating time. Almost. Welcome to my work. Here's our Odyssey seat frame. I went ahead and wire brushed it yesterday before work, or right before the end of work day. Here is our skid plate. Also, we got most of the rust off. That should cover up. We went ahead and got all the cracks and crevices. I got all these with the wire brush. The powder uses an electromagnetic charge. I don't know if anybody's familiar with powder coating, but when you hang it, it creates electromagnetic charge when it comes out of the dryer, and then the powder sticks to it, and then it goes through the heater or the furnace, heats it up to 450 degrees, it comes back out, goes around to the drying station. We're gonna coordinate this today so I can powder coat while we're on break, and I can take my time and film it. That should give us about 10 minutes. Just to let you know, this is remnants. Somebody left this behind in the garage I rented. It's gonna use about 20 feet of 1.5 by 1.5 inch angle, 1.5 by 1.5 by 1/8 inch. It's going to be a stand for our weld table. I don't want to say too much because I think it's pretty cool, but I'll tell you anyway. Somebody left behind an old truck toolbox, and I'm going to turn it into a welding table. I'm going to get 3/4 inch thick plates cut to fit the top, the two doors in the middle section of the toolbox, and then the toolbox will still be functional as storage for clamps and whatnot. So as we get close to time, it'll probably be around 10 o'clock for our powder coating. So in the meantime, I'm gonna take those parts, it's only Miller welding here, and those parts, and slap us together some vault boxes. The company I work for has been in business since the owner's grandfather's father, so the great grandfather of the owner, and the owner's 65. So this has been in business, I think they said, since 1928. So since 1918. So we're 103 years old. I'll give you a little tour real quick, and then you'll be able to see that this is part of the original building. Still the original hardwood planked floors, probably logged right here in the town that I'm in. We were the logging capital of the world. Look how old this welder is. Maybe you guys can Google that just to get an idea of how old we're talking. I'm probably gonna say the 30s, 40s. That looks pretty old. Ideal arc. And then there's some other wire stuff back there that's probably just as old. Those parts on the shelf, you look up, see the old planked walls, and in the back, this is still dirt floors back here. It's part of the old original building. They steel sheeted the outside to cover the wood to protect it from the elements. I'll take you on this side, just show you some of look at that old oxyacetylene cart, old metal wheels. That's probably from the 20s. Just some of the stuff that's in here is absolutely amazing. I would love to dig through it. But anyway, okay. I gotta get to work. Gotta get something done. And then I'll give you a tour of the paint line when it's time to paint. And we'll have a fantastic day. I gotta turn these fans on. It's gonna get really loud. But I think these are gonna look really good. I'm gonna take us a before and after picture just so you can see. I mean, for these parts being 35 years old, you can tell this machine was garage kept. I misspoke in our first video. When I was giving you a tour of the Odyssey and the portable shed, you know, I said the first and original owner. I meant there was only one owner when I bought it. I bought it from the original owner who purchased it in 1985. I think they came out in March, and he bought his at the end of March 1985. Passed it down to his son, and I don't want to offend anybody, but millennials don't know what they're doing, and they don't know how to appreciate stuff, most that I've met anyway, and his son just wanted to sell it. So I bought my machine for $4,000. It's a good story, I'll tell you sometime. But all right, well, I got to get some work done before I get yelled at, which I won't get yelled at. This place I work is the best place I've ever worked. A small shop, family owned. Everything we make is handmade, tailored to suit. We do our own fabrication, cutting from raw steel, aluminum, stainless steel, all the way to the finished powder coated product. Many different colors painted to suit. We do a fantastic job, and we take pride in our work like every true American should. God bless America. Industry built this country, and we love every minute of it. All right, I'll get back to you when we start our powder coating journey. Have a great morning. Bye. It is powder coating time. I'm gonna carry our parts up front. Sorry for the noise. I know it's a little noisy, but that's all the exhaust fans for the day. Sorry about that. All right, let's go. As I said in the first video, I am fortunate to have a powder coating booth at my disposal. So now we are going to hang parts. Hey Del, do you mind being on a YouTube video? Hey, we're gonna hang some parts. I think they're small enough to fit on one hook. So can I use this one? All right. Here's that one. And here's this one. All right. Parts are hanging. They're gonna go around, up around there, up there, and then into the parts cleaner, and then through the furnace. So it's going to take about a half hour for the parts to get around to the spray booth. So in the meantime, I'm going to go back to work. All right, I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, guys, I know it's really noisy, but I wanted to show you. Here comes our parts out of the dryer. I'm really excited about that. Here they come. As you can see, the tracks up there. There's our seat frame. And there's our skid plate. All right, about another 8 to 10 minutes, we'll be painting. See you again in a minute. All right, here comes the parts. Here is the spray booth. There's Jordan. Donnie's down there. We are gonna be painting. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see these things when they come out. I had a surprise for you. I have to hang a gravity fuel tank. So I got a 5-gallon 8x24-inch spun aluminum fuel tank. We'll be painting that next week. And then we'll be installing everything as we go. We're gonna paint the fuel tank blue to match the seat. So we are good to go. There's Rick over there, the owner. He's happy. We have permission to paint these, so should only take a minute or two. And then we'll get the powder on them. Yeah, when they both get in there. Hey Donnie, when they both get in there, I'm gonna stop it real quick so we can give these a paint. I'm gonna hit the stop button. All right. Here we go. We are powder coating. This is so exciting. This is awesome. Sure we get everything. This is fantastic. These things are gonna look fantastic when they're done. Here we go. Almost done. I think that's it. All right, give her a start. Thank you, Donnie. All right, guess we'll see how they come out. All right, guys, it's the end of the day. Let's go check on our parts. It's been taxing me with the excitement of trying to see or thinking how good they look. So let's go to the packing station and see how good our parts look. Oh man. They look brand new. They look fantastic. Look at that. That looks absolutely brand new. It looks real good. I can't wait to see what the fuel tank looks like. All right, well, it's the end of the day. I'm gonna head home. And I guess I'll see you guys next week when we do brakes and the gas tank. All right, have a good one. Okay, well, it's after work. We're back home. The parts made it home safe, unscratched. I thought it was fitting to sit in the Odyssey, even though I don't have an engine in here and I don't have a seat installed. It's the thrill and the excitement that I think about honestly, every night when I go to sleep, every morning when I walk past and I'm on my way out to the car, like I sneak over and unzip it just to make sure it's still sitting here. I guess I should tell you a little bit of the backstory. My cousin, or my uncle, I should say, back in '85, bought one of these for my cousin brand new, and I was so envious and jealous. You know, any of us that are, you know, around that age and can remember that time, like there were so many good good off-road vehicles, you know, being, you know, on the market back in the '80s. But the Odyssey just was one in its own, you know. And I can remember sitting in my older cousin, she was a female, her name's Tina. I sat in her lap and she let me hit the gas. And you know, I was 8 years old and I felt like I was being treated like an infant, but I would have done anything to, you know, to take a ride on the roof, let alone on somebody's lap, you know, because I would have never been able to ride it by myself, you know. And I don't ever remember what happened to it. I stopped, you know, hanging out with that particular cousin. I guess I'm falling out with my mother. I don't know, something. But, you know, it just always stuck with me. So last year I was in a position financially that, you know, I talked about it and I wanted one. So I got online, and I can't even tell you where I found it. I just found it online for sale. It was outside of Denver, Colorado. I'm in, you know, northeast central Pennsylvania. It's 1,601 miles to Denver from my house. And I talked to, actually it was a kid, he was a 17-year-old. His dad bought it brand new and had it, and I didn't know the circumstances, I just know the pictures, it was beautiful. And when I got there, I understood why. When the guy told me he lived in the Rocky Mountains and the Odyssey had never seen a cold winter, and I mean because it was in a heated, like 3,500 square foot garage, and it was garage kept, one owner, and he passed it off to his 17-year-old son, who immediately put a GPS and aftermarket speedometer on it, and then quickly lost interest and wanted to sell it. And I bought this for $4,000, and I didn't even bicker with them for the price. It ran when I got there, but it was tuned to high altitude. These people were multi-millionaires. Like, their house was 4 times bigger. Their A-frame house was 4 times bigger than their 3,500 square foot garage, and they were detached on different planes of the mountain that they lived on. They had 3 iron truss bridges professionally built on their property, private bridges. Like, and it kind of played into why the kid wouldn't give me his address until I was 2 miles down the road. So I don't know, it was cool though. Getting it home was a nightmare. All the major rentals, you know, U-Haul, Budget, they wanted between $1,800 and $2,400 to rent a truck, to put it in the back. And so we were going to buy a 4Runner while we were out there and then rent a trailer and tow it home. But we were pressed for time and couldn't find a 4Runner. Yeah, we just couldn't find a good enough one for the money we had to spend that would have guaranteed the 1,600-mile trip towing something. So I don't know, I remember seeing that show on TV, Shipping Wars, not Storage Wars, not, you know, Shipping Wars. So they, you know, people sit around on this website, it's called UShip, and they wait for, you know, drivers wait for loads to come, you know, come across the wire, and then they bid on them. Well, I got this Odyssey home from Colorado for $500. It took 6 days. After I left, he picked it up on a Wednesday early afternoon, and by Tuesday of the following week, it was there safe and sound. I'm not sponsored by anybody, obviously. I only have 2 subscribers, but I will say the app UShip is fantastic. They put your money in escrow account and give you a number that you give to the driver once everything is, you know, safe and secure, or you can choose to just swipe and pay him immediately as soon as he gets here. And I gave my driver over $100 tip because I was grateful. He was a great guy, veteran of the armed forces, really great guy. But anyway, so that's my love affair, the Odyssey. That's the journey that it took to get it home. This was powder coating day. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. Please click like and subscribe. I probably look like hell because I'm tired. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and I'm ready for dinner and bed, but I didn't want to do that without, saying thanks. All right. You guys have a good night. Odyssey life out.